Alright, hi everybody. I'm Daniel Roach from HomeFitnessChallenge.com, and I want to take a quick second and show you the 3 main supplements that I'm going to use for my P90X success. Okay? Now, I've chosen these supplements to be the only ones I'm going to be using during my second run at P90X. Last time, I managed to weed out a lot of the, losers from the pack. Okay, I tried a bunch of stuff the last time I did P90X, and I weeded out the wheat from the chaff. This right here, this is the wheat. If you're doing P90X, as far as I'm concerned, these are the only 3 things you need. Now, you can choose to use the P90X supplements if you want. I personally think they're pretty expensive, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen any evidence that they can really do anything that something bought at the local vitamin shop can't do. Okay? And I do have a little experience with that. I spent a little while working at a vitamin shop, so I can tell you what's in this. I can tell you what's in the P90X stuff, and largely, there's not a lot of difference. Now, if you want to use that stuff, that's fine. That's totally up to you. I personally would rather not. So, without further ado, let me just introduce you to what I'm going to be using. This right here is the only one that I really consider to be truly optional of the 3. This is Rapid Lean. It's a fat burner from 6-Star Muscle, 6-Star Nutrition. The reason I chose this is because I really like 6-Star. The stuff of theirs that I've used has been really, really good and really reasonably priced, honestly. I also like the fact that I can identify everything on their label. That always makes me feel good. So that's one thing you could go for. Honestly, you can skip it, to be perfectly honest about it. Rapid Lean is great, and any kind of fat burner will help, but largely, these are just stimulants. It's caffeine. Okay? Drink some coffee, you'll get the same effect. Now, these 2. These are the big players. You cannot do without this one, and as far as I'm concerned, you can't do without this one. This right here is just a regular protein supplement. This is whey protein. Now, there's 2 options when you walk into any GNC vitamin shop. You got the whey proteins, you got the casein proteins. Go with whey, okay? Casein proteins burn a lot slower than whey proteins, which make them ideal for taking before you go to bed. Whey proteins are best right after a workout because your body's going to use it up real quick. It's going to get into that window of 1 hour right after a workout where you can really get the most out of your protein use. So this is going to get into your body super quick, allow your body to do some protein synthesis super quick, and start repairing the muscles you broke down during the workout. Okay? If you want to use whey before bed, mix it with a little flaxseed oil. That'll help it burn off a little slower. But this right here is perfectly fine on its own. You don't need the casein as far as I'm concerned. But there's one thing to keep in mind. I don't think that there's any difference between brands. You can choose whatever brand you want. I pick the cheap stuff, and it's always worked for me. Be careful of artificial sweeteners. Not only are they dangerous for your health, but they make these things taste like death. Okay, absolute death. Death on a cracker. But this is not optional. You gotta have a really good protein supplement, especially for phase 1 of P90X, where you're gonna be eating nothing but protein. This is one that I really recommend, and is one, if you've read my P90X mistakes article on HomeFitnessChallenge.com, you know I really recommend this. This is called creatine, or creatine monohydrate. Creatine, just to give you a really quick layman's version, you can find more on this at HomeFitnessChallenge.com. What creatine does is it's going to help your endurance. It's going to help you push harder and push longer, okay, which is going to break down your muscles even more, help you get more reps out of your workouts, which are going to help you make bigger improvements, okay? Now, there's one other benefit that's not entirely practical, but it's cosmetic. Creatine pulls water into your muscles, okay? Now, that water is going to make your muscles swell. It makes you look ripped. I'm serious. Creatine will make you look absolutely ripped, okay? Now, It's easy to use. This right here is a powder. This is by Nature's Best. Nature's Best. It's really cheap. This comes in a powder. I mix it with this when I make a shake. You only need 3 to 5 grams of creatine, only on training days. It's awesome. Now you need to do something called creatine cycling, which is 2 weeks on creatine, 2 weeks off creatine. That way your body doesn't get too used to it and build up a tolerance. But other than that, creatine is perfectly safe. Okay, this is nothing shady. This is nothing black hat. Nothing, anything like that. Okay, this has been on the market for decades now. Bodybuilders have been using it for decades now. There are no long-term side effects that have ever been found. This stuff is great. Okay, it's one of those things that you don't absolutely have to use it, but you know what? For what it gives you and how cheap it is, I don't see why you wouldn't. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 3 supplements that I'm going to be using on my P90X quest. If you want to follow that quest, go to homefitnesschallenge.com. We're going to be updating pretty regularly with that because they've convinced me to come back, get back on the horse, and start all over again. Alright, so if you want to follow my P90X quest there, you can, but there's also a lot of other information on P90X alternatives and generally a lot of home fitness stuff. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys.